Hello friends, how are you? Welcome to your own channel Meedu Study. Friends, I am your friend Ashutosh from IIM Indore, and as you all know, in Meedu Study we have taken an initiative, our series known as Dream IIM series in which we are giving you 75 videos in 75 days and making you CAT ready. We are getting a very good feedback from our dear subscribers, and we are incorporating the same in our videos as well. We have videos on various sections, on all the three sections which come in CAT: VARC, QA and LRDI. And in today's video we will be discussing our verbal ability, taking it forward. Already there are 4 videos, 2 videos on basic VA, video number 2 and 15, and 2 videos on grammar, video number 10 and 20. So in today's video we will be doing the next topic of grammar. Already we have 2 videos, you can refer them. Today we will be doing grammar 3. In our first video of grammar, which was video number 10, we discussed about nouns and correct usage of nouns. In next video, video number 20, we discussed about the correct usage of pronouns. Today, my dear friends, we will be doing 2 next part of speech, which are adjective and adverbs. So let us begin our today's video. An adjective is a word which qualifies a noun or a pronoun. This is the basic definition of adjective every one of us knows. We will be today dealing with various rules for correct usage of adverb. First of all, let us see 2 types of usage of adjective which are possible. So adjective can be used attributively. If it is placed immediately before the noun, it qualifies. This is known as attributive usage. She is a good teacher. Next is predicatively. If it is used after the verb, so Ram is intelligent. This is known as predicative use. So there are 2 kinds which we discussed, attributive as well as predicative. So now let us start some common rules related to the usage of adverbs. Before going to the rules, let me tell you some things. So there are 3 degrees which are there for adjective. First is known as positive degree. So when we say he is wise, so this is positive. Next is comparative. So when we say Ram is wiser than Sham, it is comparative. And when we say wisest, that is superlative. So Ram is the wisest child in the class. This is superlative. Another can be he is intelligent. He is more intelligent than her. He is the most intelligent boy of the class. So in first rule it is saying that if 2 quantities quantify same person or thing are compared, the comparative degree is found by using more. So in that case we will use more and we will not use R or ER. For example, Reddy is more wise than intelligent. So in this case it means he is both wise and intelligent, but he is more wise comparatively. His wisdom is more compared to his intelligence. Next rule: when 2 objects are compared with each other, the latter term of comparison must exclude the former by using any other. Gold is more precious than any other metal. So what is this saying? When 2 objects are compared, the later term of comparison must exclude the former by using any other. So gold is more precious than any other metal. This is our rule number 2. Let us move to the next rule. Rule number 3 says that there are some words which are used in positive and cannot be used in comparative or in superlative. For example, interior, ulterior, major, minor, they are always used in positive. There is nothing like more major, more minor, most major, most minor. No, they are always used in positive. Next, rule number 4. Following are used as comparative adjectives and are followed by to and not then. So in this, words are always used for comparative. For example of these words are superior, senior, junior, inferior, prior, anterior, posterior, prefer. So when we say someone is senior, it is always in comparison. If there are like if it is a 4-year course, so people in fourth year, they will be senior to people in first, second, third. People in second will be senior to people in first. So always there is some comparison, and in such word we will always use to. So superior to, senior to, junior to, inferior to. Never use then. This is our rule number 4. Let us move to the next rule. In next rule it says that there are some adjectives which are not used in comparative and superlative. Let us see what kind of adjective these are. So adjectives like empty, excellent, circular, extreme, chief, entire, complete, perfect, final, last, unique, universal. round, square, triangular, eternal, they are not used in comparative or superlative degree. Rule number 5. The adjective preferable is used as a comparative. It is followed by to. So preferable is always used for comparison followed by to. This is preferable to that. I prefer tea to coffee. So always there will be comparison between two, then only preferable is used, and there will be to. I will not say I prefer tea than coffee. No, that is wrong. Prefer to. I prefer going to mountains, so that is more preferable to me. Okay, this is more preferable. Going to mountains is more preferable to me. This is rule number 6. Let us move to our next rule, rule number 7. Rule number 7 says that the comparative adjectives ending in or, so if there are some comparative adjectives ending in or, they are followed by to. So always it will be inferior to, superior to. Whenever something ends in or, use to along with it. Rule number 8. Sometimes the word much, less, far, etc. are used before the comparatives to denote emphasis. Ram is by far the ablest lecturer in the college. So in this far, we have to put more emphasis. So one is something that Ram is a able lecturer, very good lecturer. We are saying by far the ablest lecturer. So means till now we have not had any other better lecturer than Ramakrishna. We are emphasizing. It is kind of very excess thing. In that case, we will use it in front. Okay. Our next rule, rule number 9. So rule number 9 of adjectives states that two adjectives which refer to the same noun or pronoun joined by conjunction must be in same degree. So suppose Gandhiji is the noun and we are using conjunction and, so both these adjectives should be in same degree. Gandhiji is the noblest and wisest of all national leaders. Noblest and wisest of all national leaders. Rule number 10. Certain adjectives when preceded by the becomes noun in plural and require a plural verb if they are used as subjects. They are rich, poor, needy, aged, blind, dead, wicked, etc. So in this, whenever we say the, okay, it becomes plural. So when we say the rich usually hate the poor. So in this the rich does not mean any one person, Mr. Ram who is a millionaire. It means the rich as a community. So the rich means rich people usually hate the poor. So he is not hating any one poor person sitting in front. In general, they are hating the poor people. This was rule number 10 for adjectives. So these were our major rules for adjectives. Now we will move to the second part of today's video, which is adverbs. First of all, let me explain what is adverb. Like adjectives was qualifying a noun, adverb will modify a verb, adjective or any other adverb. So it adds to these three. I have taken 3 examples in which it is adding to different parts of speech. She is reading very fast. So see, she is reading. Okay, this was verb. This very fast is qualifying. So here adverb is qualifying a verb. First example. She is very intelligent girl. In this very is qualifying this intelligent, which is an adjective. Third, the horse runs very quickly. So here this very is qualifying this adverb, which is quickly. Okay, so it is qualifying an adverb qualifying adverb. So adverb can qualify 3 things. It can qualify a verb, an adjective or an adverb. This was our explanation of what is adverb. Now let us know some of the common rules which we should remember while we are doing the correct usage of adverbs. Rule number 1. In order to make our meaning clear, an adverb must be placed as near as possible to the word it modifies. So place it closely so that there is no confusion. She has only $3 with her. This only, this is qualifying this $3. So place it as closely as her. See, by changing this position, meaning can change. If we say only she has $3, that means something different. Okay, so for whatever you are using it, place it as near as possible. When an adverb modifies an intransitive verb, it usually follows it. So in this rides, this is intransitive verb. So transitive intransitive verb in our verb class we will be discussing separately. For time being, remember, whenever the verb is intransitive, the verb will follow it. So we will not write she neatly writes, it will be she writes neatly. Our rule number 2. In our next rule, let us see what another rules are there for adverb. So our rule number 3 says that when a verb consists of an auxiliary and a main verb. So there are two verbs, one is main action verb, one is auxiliary. The adverb which qualifies is placed between, so it will be between. So I have often told him not to come late. Okay, so in this I have told, these are two different, one is main verb, one is auxiliary. So this often will be placed in between. This is our rule number 3. Rule number 4, when an adverb modifies an adjective or another adverb, the adverb usually comes before it. So do not speak so fast. So here this adverb is modifying an adjective or another adverb, so it will come before. We will not say do not speak fast or something like that. This will come before this. This is our rule number 4. Let us move to our next rule. Our next rule says that, rule number 5, the word only should be placed before the word it is intended to modify. I solved only 2 problems, so place it just before this, related to one of our previous rules. Let us see our next rule, rule number 6. In rule number 6, we have taken a close meaning of some different words in which one usually gets confused. These are hard, hardly, scarce and scarcely. So there is a minute difference between these and we need to understand the rule. Hard as an adverb means diligently. So whenever we say hard, it means diligently. It usually follows the verb. So just see an example, then I will explain you. He works hard to make both ends meet. So here hard means diligently. Someone is working diligently. Now what is the usage of hardly? Hardly when used as an adverb means scarcely or barely. It conveys a negative meaning. So hardly is used for your negative meaning. When we say hardly had he reached the station when the train left, so means a negative, he was just scarcely he had reached. Or when I say I hardly understood what the teacher told, it means I very rarely, very less I understood. I did not understand at all. Instead of saying I did not understand anything, sometimes this word hardly used. So hardly basically has a negative meaning. Or sometimes you also say na, I hardly know that person, means I don't know about him at all. Only maybe few basic things I will know. Scarce as an adjective means not plentiful, hard to find or not often found. So meaning of scarce is not plentiful. Coal has become scarce in England. So it means it is not in plenty and it is very hardly found. That is the meaning of hardly or scarcely. So friends, this was about the usage of adverbs, and previously we did usage of adjectives. With this, our third video of grammar is complete and we have covered 4 parts of speech: nouns, pronouns, adjectives and adverbs. And these rules are very important because sentence related to correction, and many a times some options you get confused. By remembering these rules, we can resolve them. In our next video, my dear friends, we will be doing one of the logical reasoning topic, which is binary logic. A very interesting question, very interesting topic. You will enjoy solving it. Let us do it in our next video. For now, let us know if there is any suggestions in our this VA grammar series. You can write it in the comment section, or you can write in meedu.study@gmail.com, which is our mail ID. We will definitely incorporate it. If you are liking our content, please like it, share it and subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Have a good day. Take care.